Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin said his family was stranded at a property near the Guadalupe River during the unprecedented floodwaters that killed over 100 people in central Texas. His wife, Suzanne Youngkin, and other family members were rescued by the National Guard. The governor flew to Texas on Friday afternoon and met with rescue teams. He announced deploying 2 Virginia swiftwater rescue teams to assist recovery efforts. A devastating flood disaster in Texas Hill Country was caused by a rare combination of extreme weather and geography. The area's unique topography, including steep hills and shallow soils, funneled heavy rainfall into swollen rivers, resulting in catastrophic flooding. The storms stalled over the region, dumping 10 to 12 inches of rain in just 6 hours, making it one of the worst floods in recent history. Search and rescue teams are navigating the treacherous waters to reach stranded residents and campers. Texas leads the nation in flood deaths, with over 1,000 fatalities recorded between 1959 and 2019. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced a new round of tariffs for 6 countries, including the Philippines, Iraq, and Libya. The announcement comes as the Trump administration prepares to negotiate with these countries on trade agreements. NBC News' Brain Chung reports on the development. A wave of user-generated videos on social media has brought the harsh realities of President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown to America's screens. The chaotic and shaky videos, collected and verified by NBC News, depict heavily armed ICE agents detaining people, sometimes violently, in various parts of the United States. With thousands of views, these videos have sparked both outrage and support for how ICE handles its mandate. The Trump administration has defended its enforcement efforts, citing broad powers to make arrests without warrants and limited requirements for identifying themselves as law enforcement. As the situation continues to unfold, experts warn that the videos may be reminiscent of those that changed the national conversation around police brutality and triggered the Black Lives Matter movement. Linda Yaccarino announced her departure from X, the social media platform owned by Elon Musk, on Wednesday. The move comes a day after the company's Grok chatbot posted anti-Semitic statements, prompting the shutdown of its text reply feature. Yaccarino joined X in May 2023 and served as the first CEO under Musk's ownership. During her tenure, she focused on restoring advertiser confidence and prioritizing user safety, particularly for children. However, her efforts were overshadowed by controversies surrounding antisemitism on the platform, including a wave of advertiser departures after Musk shared an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory in 2023. Yaccarino's departure was reportedly in the works for over a week, with a source familiar with the situation telling NBC News that she had been planning to leave for some time. At least 3 children were killed in multiple Israeli airstrikes on the Gaza Strip on July 9, 2025. A video captured by an NBC News crew shows mourners gathering at Shifa Hospital after a mother, father, and their 5-month-old daughter were killed in an airstrike that hit their apartment. A separate missile struck a nearby car, killing a father and his 14-year-old son. The airstrikes come amid ongoing tensions between Israel and Hamas. Amazon Prime Day is a 4-day shopping event where members can get exclusive deals on various products. Here are some of the best deals, sales, and discounts available during this year's Prime Day. Panera Bread has settled 3 remaining lawsuits related to its highly caffeinated charged lemonade, which was blamed for multiple deaths and permanent injuries. The chain faced at least 4 lawsuits, including 2 alleging wrongful deaths. Panera discontinued the beverage in May 2024, after facing criticism over its high caffeine content. Federal Reserve officials are divided over the likelihood and extent of interest rate cuts this year, with some expecting 2 reductions, followed by 3 more over the next couple years. The June 17 to 18 meeting minutes showed policymakers holding a wait-and-see position on future rate moves. But opinions ranged from cutting rates as soon as July to no reductions at all. Officials cited concerns over tariff-induced inflation pressures and signs of labor market weakness and economic strength. A simple shower with lukewarm water and a fragrance-free cleanser is all you need, say dermatologists. Experts warn against daily exfoliation, antibacterial soap, and excessive use of products, which can harm skin and the environment. A basic routine involves washing privates and skin folds, using gentle exfoliants, and hydrating after showering. Shortening showers and conserving water is also essential for environmental sustainability. Livvy Dunne, a social media influencer and former college gymnast, had her nearly $1.6 million offer for Babe Ruth's one-time New York City apartment rejected by the co-op board. The Upper West Side unit was listed for $1.595 million, and Dunne planned to make a cash purchase with her boyfriend, Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Paul Skenes. The co-op board did not provide a reason for rejecting Dunne's bid, but she joked that it might have been due to her being an LSU fan. Senator Josh Hawley, R-Mo, held an event in Hazelwood, Mo on Tuesday to highlight a less-noticed part of the Trump megabill, an expanded fund for victims of nuclear waste. Hawley said his goal is to prevent the provider tax changes, which will limit state reimbursement for Medicaid, from taking effect in Missouri in 2030. The law's changes bring uncertainty to a community dependent on funding from expanded Medicaid access, with the Missouri Hospital Association estimating the state will lose hundreds of millions of dollars in funding. The U.S. Justice Department has sued California for allegedly violating federal law with policies allowing transgender student athletes to compete on school sports teams that align with their gender identities. The lawsuit, filed by the Trump administration, claims California's policies discriminate against female student athletes and violate Title IX. California has refused to follow an executive order signed by President Donald Trump in February, which would bar federal funding from schools that allow trans girls and women to compete on female school sports teams. The state has had a law allowing trans students to compete since 2013, and more than half of states have enacted measures restricting trans student participation in school sports. The Justice Department alleges that California's policies are deeply unfair and illegal under federal law. The lawsuit is the latest escalation of the administration's back and forth with California over transgender athlete policies. Italian tennis player Jannik Sinner has reached the semifinals of Wimbledon after defeating American Ben Shelton in straight sets. Despite wearing a white sleeve on his right arm due to an injury sustained 2 days prior, Sinner played with minimal signs of discomfort and dominated the match. He won 7-6-2, 6-4, 6-4, accumulating 33 winners to just 17 unforced errors. Sinner will face either Novak Djokovic or Flavio Cobolli in the semifinals. U.S. President Donald Trump has sent letters to the leaders of 7 more countries, dictating new tariff rates on their imports. The latest letters were revealed by Trump via Truth Social screenshots, and were sent to the Philippines, Brunei, Moldova, Algeria, Iraq, Libya, and Sri Lanka. This move comes 2 days after Trump first shared letters telling 14 countries' leaders that their exports to the U.S. would face steep new tariffs starting August 1st. The tariff rates for the 21 countries targeted so far range from 20% to 40%. Trump's aggressive approach to resetting America's global trade relationships has sparked turmoil in global trading markets. Immigrant detainees and their loved ones are denouncing what they allege are terrible conditions at the state-managed immigration detention facility in the Florida Everglades, known as Alligator Alcatraz. Detainees report a lack of water, issues with electricity, and copious mosquitoes. The facility is run by the state, but Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava has requested access and monitoring due to concerns about conditions. Several detainees have made similar complaints, including a Colombian national who claims he's been there for 3 days without access to medicine he needs. The U.S. is experiencing more frequent extreme weather events that people and governments are not adapting quickly enough. climate scientists warn that the country's infrastructure and population growth make it increasingly vulnerable to disasters. Despite growing evidence of climate change's impact, many still rely on past experiences to inform their decisions, rather than preparing for a future with more intense storms and heat waves. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA, has filed a state lawsuit against the American Kennel Club, alleging that its breed standards lead to deformed, unhealthy canines. The targeted breeds include bulldogs, French bulldogs, pugs, dachshunds, and Chinese Shar-Pei. PETA claims these features cause chronic health issues, pain, and suffering in dogs. The AKC maintains that it prioritizes the health and welfare of dogs and does not create breed standards. A 13-year-old boy was arrested on suspicion of setting off fireworks that sparked a wildfire in coastal Southern California, forcing the evacuations of about 100 canyon homes. The Laguna Beach blaze was one of dozens burning this week in the state. A teen was taken into custody and could face charges including felony reckless burning of forest land. The Trump administration has launched a new investigation into former CIA Director John Brennan and former FBI Director James Comey. The Justice Department confirmed the inquiry, which comes as the DOJ faces scrutiny over its handling of the Jeffrey Epstein case. Details of what they are being investigated for, or how far the probe will go, remain unclear. Both men have been frequent targets of President Donald Trump's criticism.